Hello, welcome to another edition of XFeed. If this is your first time tuning in, what's up? Stay for a few minutes. You might find something interesting or you might not, and you can unfollow me, unsubscribe, and publicly shame me. That'd be fantastic. Anyway, a lot of stuff, crazy headlines that are getting misconstrued. We're going to look at an old collection that was going for hundreds of thousands of dollars that is starting to tweet again that I thought wasn't even existing anymore, and a lot more. So if you guys are excited for this, hell yeah. Okay, so right off the rip, from Cointelegraph, Immutable shuts down NFT marketplace. Why web3 gaming needs its own Steam. Okay, so I feel like we're at a point where everything is just purely about the impressions, trying to get somebody to give like a visceral reaction to something rather than just kind of talking about the facts. Because, you know, there's a couple ways you could read this headline of, okay, it's giving like a justification for the fact that there needs to be a Steam variation of Web3 out there, which I think Ultra is an example of one that is like trying to build that, even though it's technically like a network. Tolly, good morning, good morning, good morning. But I don't know. Listen, I'm just so over these different headlines. It's kind of crazy. Now, what I found interesting while I was going through some different articles is the Blockchain Futurist Conference, the one that's out of Toronto right now. There was some different posts throughout this that are just kind of like highlighted keynotes, and I thought I'd bring them up. So according to a 2024 OnePoll survey of 2,000 adults, 52% of respondents said they were unaware of what blockchain gaming was. Well, I mean, people even in the space right now don't even know what blockchain gaming is half the time. They're not even playing it. They just follow people on X that talk about it, but they're not actually integrating it for themselves most of the time. At least that's my perception of it. There was a quote that was given here from Long Do of Anomaly Games, and this quote doesn't even make sense. That's why I want to read it. I believe like 50% of game developers, they make a total of less than $2,000 over their entire lifetime. But a Web3 game developer actually statistically makes a lot more than a Web2 game developer. Okay, so in their entire lifetime, they make less than $2,000. So, why are so many people into game development? Is it just the fact that they're passionate about it? Is it actually similar to how we have a lot of people that do spaces on X just because they're passionate about it? And so game developers, it's the same thing, and half of them don't make any money. That makes absolutely zero sense, but okay. We'll work with it. And then on the bottom of this, they have a conversation about the rise of Telegram gaming. So go through it super quick. The Helika CEO statements are epitomized by games on Telegram and the separate independent Telegram open networks TON. Use of casual games to drive users to Web3 space. Ruslan F., CEO of X10, believes the strategy may position Telegram to onboard the first billion users to the crypto ecosystem. Now, a couple weeks back, we played a video of Yatsio of Animoca Brands, and he was giving that exact same line, talking about the first 100 million, the first billion of people getting brought over into Web3 through Telegram with TON. And it's interesting that we're continuing this conversation and how fast it actually becomes. Now, Helika and Notcoin, a popular Telegram-based tap-to-play game, revealed a $50 million game accelerator program to foster the development of Telegram games. So in your traditional Web3 markets, we're seeing, you know, sometimes less than $10,000 raised, as we talked about Emergence. They had 6 million. Abstract got like 10 or 11. They got 50 million over in Telegram. Kind of spicy, right? Because 99% are not doing it as a job, more of making it something for, I mean, see, this is the thing. It's like, it's a good headline or quote, but it's like kind of taken out of context in a certain way. Okay, so this is crazy to me. So shout out my dad, who he looks up different stories and sends me them. And today, almost every single article was something to do with meme coins, and I was like, damn, these are really taking over the headlines, as we've done throughout the shows. We've been trying to highlight, when you look up Web3, NFTs, there is basically no new news, but for meme coins, there's like 6 articles. The Nero Ethereum price plunges 18% in a week as this new meme coin races towards 1 million. 97% of meme coins don't last a year, study finds. Investors ditch stagnant Ripple for rising meme coin M Pepe. Pepe Unchained presale raises 8 million. Next meme coin to explode. Ponzio, the cat price prediction, Ponzio surges 9,000+% in a month, but experts say this base meme coin might go parabolic. Crazy to see all of the headlines for meme coins. We got virtually nothing out in the rest of the space. All right, Campbell getting excited about Sugartown. Let's jump into this right quick. And we're going to get to another one a little bit later that I was like, what the hell is going on? But when you look at these pages, I'm surprised that most of the time it's not a whole lot of info bits that you can consume. Gameplay, as an example, which is the one we'll get to in a second, does it actually show you all those specific things? Now, I remember I tried to go to Sugartown before, and it said that like I was geolocated, blocked, or some kind of crazy stuff like that. So hopefully this doesn't happen this time. And let's go and check out the website. Give a quick little glance here. Sugartown. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Auras by Singa. You can buy them on OpenSea. They talk about the stories, the vision. If we go over to play, what exactly does it bring up? Okay, location not allowed. All right, so that's immediately. Listen, we tried Camel, we tried him, but listen, we're banned. Unbelievable. Okay, Frank from The Gods highlighting some Solana marketplaces right now. What's your reaction to seeing this? And it highlights a couple of different NFTs. Solana Monkey Business Gen 2, The Gods, Froganas, and a couple others. So at first glance here, you look at that and you're like, okay, so somebody's paying like 3,000 US for one, about 4,000 for another. One of those is going for about $200, another one for 400. This one's, a little bit over 2,500. Not bad, not bad. But at the same time, I don't really know anything that I can tell you on what any of them offer, apart from the fact that I think Solana Monkey Business was one of the original Genesis ones of Solana ecosystem. So it's funny. There's a huge educational gap, I think, within the space and selling the narrative of what these different collections are offering. Now, this person ripped a Doodles pack for the Arizona iced tea. Thought I'd play the clip real quick just so you guys can see what the interaction looks like. And it feels a lot like the NBA Top Shot in terms of you get a pack and you get to open it and you get the goodies, except for moments this time it is now wearables for the most part. And so a little quick clip there so you see what it looks like. I know this may come as a shock to some, but this morning I made the difficult decision to resign my position at Neon Machine, parent company to Shrapnel and Mercury. I am no longer associated with either project. I won't be commenting more on it at this time. Well, okay, you go from all right, this is maybe not that big of a deal to okay, well, this sounds like there's some kind of big shenanigans going on behind the scenes. And that's something that's never really talked about. The amount of problems the team have behind the space. Is there a rogue member? Is somebody wanting to take the company in a certain direction, but the way the leadership works, what's the different problems? You bring in somebody new, you have them as a public-facing person. I mean, that's just inside of the teams out there, right? But then when you go out to the community and there's people that were used to be your absolute biggest fans that are just absolutely stabbing you publicly every chance you get, highlighting every minute detail and just hating, man. People are hating out there. It's crazy. Yo, Hypnotoad, shenanigans. Truest. Truey. So I don't know what the hell's going on with Shrapnel. I actually don't know what Mercury is, to be totally honest. And if you don't know what Shrapnel is, it's one of the blockchain games that are out there. Okay, ASM, exciting news. Chibi Clash will be the first official partner on the ASM protocol. Launchpad. True. They'll be contributing their Clash token to the Void Protocol 2.0, where Astro holders can stake and redeem Void rewards for a share of the Clash tokens. So I think that's really cool, but what I don't find super cool is finding anything about the game on a quick glance. I am somebody, and this is maybe just me, where I'm okay, I want to find out some really quick info. So I'm okay, I don't want to scroll the entire timeline. Let me see what they have in terms of media for different gameplay. And you can see here that all of the videos are 10 seconds, 19 seconds. You have it down here. Back in July, a little quick video where the character's moving around, and I'm okay, show a little bit more, because I feel like these things need to be explained. But then I was looking at this, right? And then I looked it up online. And I found a video, and this is the craziest thing ever, because I feel like they've missed something very integral, because I didn't know what this sort of game was like But if you play League of Legends and you play the new Swarm mode, this is exactly the same game as that, where you go around it. I believe this is like an auto attack thing. So you just like move around the mouse and sometimes you might hit like an ability here or there, but you collect coins as you take out the different like monsters and characters, and it'll pop up and you get to pick, okay, do you want to have more defense? Do you want to have more attack? What are the kind of different things that you are wanting to have with it? And I'm like, man, if they pitch this as this is League of Legends Swarm, I feel like a lot more people would end up having kind of an uptick or interest in that. So we'll see if they do that, because I think that's something that they very well should. Okay, Crypto Cities. Guys, I thought this collection wasn't doing anything. I'm going to be totally honest. This was one of the craziest collections ever way back in the day, because they had the super high fidelity. I don't know if like what the correct terminology is for these cities, but they just looked really cool. That one is kind of Maybe we'll use like voxel as an idea if there's one that we can get that looks like a little bit better within this screen here. Yeah, that one looks a little bit better, but it's basically they made all of these cities as NFTs, but they are basically supposed to be kind of like a drag and drop to go into like these virtual worlds. So in Sandbox and any of these other games, you're supposed to be able to like kind of take these and have like an entire city that's representative of something that's very well known for the most part as you go through and try to find, like, I mean, San Francisco's on here for an example, and these things were going for an arm and a leg because there was so many collections that were raising funds, and they were like, hey, we can like have a really cool city to be able to build in. And apparently the sales activity is totally gone on this. That is weird. Hold on. We got transfer, and the collections. So I don't know if this got relisted on OpenSea or what, but some of these used to be going for like 50 plus. Ethereum was an insane time in the markets. Breaking, pump.fun, 24-hour revenue is higher than those of the remaining top 20 protocols combined. Pump.fun on the past 7 days, 10 million in revenue, 33 million in 30 days. Tron on here, absolutely cooking as well. Ethereum, if you're looking at the revenue on 24 hours, 681,000. Listen, for everybody out there that's taking root, you're like, holy crap, if we can only get half the way of Ethereum. Oh my goodness, for a 24-hour period. Solana, 519,000. And then Curve Finance down at 48,000 for their 24-hour revenue. Very interesting. Again, opening the show, talking about all the different meme coins that are across these articles, and boom, pump.fun, meme coin platform extraordinaire, cooking everyone else. Kind of insane. Okay, so a little bit of gamer talk here for a second. So Nate Shot, big in the esports scene, owns 100 Thieves, yada yada. He made this kind of video that was talking about how everyone in the gaming industry seems to want games to fail for some reason. And I don't know if I have as much of like a take on like the traditional gaming market to be able to like agree or disagree with this. But within the NFT space, everybody wants everybody else to fail with like a burning passion, to the point that people go out there and they make burners on a regular basis to just trash on things. And it's weird. Like, there is a ton of hate out there. And is it justified? Is it worth it? Not necessarily. But with this notion, let's say that it's true for a second, imagine the amount of people that want blockchain-specific games to fail. That'd be a lot. We got another kind of interesting sale here. Trippy Ape going for $100,000, 37 ETH. Still seeing some NFTs going for some rather high prices, which is kind of crazy. And MetaMask is now having a card, the world's first MasterCard debit card that enables instant spending directly from your self-custody wallet. We've teamed up with MasterCard and BantX Group to bridge the gap between crypto and daily life. I think this is awesome. Curious to see what comes of it. If there's anything more, does MetaMask end up partnering with some specific banks? Because it just feels like a thing that would work in that capacity. Now, there's a lot of people that do want to have things in a decentralized way where it's not connected to a bank, but I still feel we generally have the problem of, people saying, I can't pay my rent in Bitcoin. Right? Like that's a conversational piece that everybody rips on and says, oh, we're like reliant on having cash, et cetera, et cetera. Does this change it at all? Are people going to opt into a more centralized aspect? Is MetaMask going to keep on its own and it's in like the decentralized way? I don't know, but I love to see the technology advancing a little bit. Cool, quick video here from ASM. This looks super high fidelity, super high quality, not too shabby. I'm assuming it's completely generated from their systems here, and they were doing a little bit of a plug for people that are developing if they want to jump on board and use the tech. As big advocates of the ecosystem, I am ready to try out the tech as well, beyond just the thingy art, but I think that looks awesome. I still don't know what to think about the ASM rebrand. Not sure if any of you guys have any hot takes, but it's definitely different. Now, some other esports news. Apparently, the Seattle Surge from the Call of Duty League is now just changing the name to Vancouver Surge. Not Toronto, Vancouver. Justin, Crypto.com becomes UEFA Champions League official cryptocurrency partner. So for Chelsea FC, they had Bing X as their big jersey sponsor. A lot of sports stadiums had the FTX sponsorship way back in the day. Felt like things slowed down on that front a little bit. But as we're picking back up, we're seeing it more and more. Crypto.com trying to get the attention. Oreo and CocaCola, they're launching a partner thing where there's a drink variation and then there's an Oreo variation of each other. And every time I see a collaboration in the traditional world, I think of NFTs because everybody's collabing in that too. Today, Forgotten Runes has delivered royalty payments to the NFT holders of characters featured in issue number 1, $2,000. That's cool. So I don't know how many people were a part of this, if this was split like 5 ways, if it was split 2 ways, split 35 ways, but the fact that they do have the royalties attached to it in the whole web3 owning your assets, very, very cool to see that from Forgotten Runes Wizards Cult. And they released some statistics from their game, which I did play, actually. I didn't really love it the first day that I played it. Then when I got into it, I definitely gave it a better go, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, to be honest. So hours played, the closed beta test players averaged 8.6 hours of gameplay in just 2 days. The top 2.6% of players registered over 30 hours each total playing time. And 76% was new players, and it had an 82% retention. And, reading that, it makes me think way back in the day with NBA Top Shot, there was statistics that came out that I believe it was 90% plus daily retention that they had at a point. And this was like during the mania of it. And maybe one of the craziest statistics that I have seen. And it was the number 1 game on Ronin during the test as well, which is kind of cool. So again, gaming chains are starting to get some acknowledgement. Now, final thing that I'm leaving you with here, and I think this is kind of something for like all collections out there, is Artifacts just giving kind of a quick thank you to everyone that was involved within their project Animus characters, and basically their characters, NFTs, new ones that came out, and I don't think that there's any world or anything out to be able to play or use these assets in yet. And I think that's probably the only thing that's like really missing within the entire Web3 space right now is those areas. Now, I know that there was like Pixels online that had like a lot of attention, and it might not, I might be thinking of the wrong thing here, but there was something called like Web3 game, World Wide Web, if I'm remembering that correctly. And they had like CyberCon characters that they bring in, they pixelize them, and some other ones. And there's been like different portions of interoperability of having your assets through these experiences, but for the most part, it just doesn't exist. And I think that once that happens, we're going to be looking all right. We're going to be looking all right. Ronin got hacked again. Like today? Oh, no. Yo. Yeah, I hope you don't mean today. I'll go look it up right quick. It did happen like maybe a week or 2 ago. No, a bit ago. Okay, cool. Dude, I'm sitting here and like, oh my goodness, we're going to have to break the news live and figure it out. Goodness gracious. Kind of crazy. Now, with all this said, if you guys are a fan of digital collectibles and physical ones, and you've heard of Courtyard, where they do graded Pokemon cards, graded sports cards, etc., etc. Next week on the RWA Segments podcast, we are launching the conversation I had with that. Crazy insightful. They spent like $500,000 on getting their original Pokemon cards for that platform. They're having a ton of issues stocking it, and it's a great conversation. And so if you guys are wanting to catch up on some old episodes before that one, if you check out the description below or my X bio for RWA Segments, would love for you to check that out and enjoy the conversations regarding everything RWA. But Mtali, Divine Hypnotoad, and everybody else watching the VOD, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have yourself a good